Slave DiBiase.
Hold on, let's get it together. Hold up. Yeah. Gotta get your nose with that goddamn shea butter, man. My nose be getting all dry and stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, depending on whenever you digest this content. This is another live episode of What the Offenders Initiative podcast. I am your illustrious host, Slave DiBiase, aka Tony Spark, aka Nathaniel Richards, aka Victor Von Slay. And we in here, man. Y'all see the caption, right? Matter of fact, y'all seen the thumbnail. Too much going on. As a matter of fact, I need to stop my shit because I know I'm supposed to be ready at 4:20 for 4:20 session. This is why we get ready at 4:20. But yeah, I don't know what more to tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a stoner. Sometimes I run a little late. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I need to stop. I need to do a little bit better. What it is I be getting a shower right before the show because I feel like if I'm not sitting down fresh, ready to smoke, properly hydrated and all that, then it's just not gonna be a good time at all. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the actual content of the whole situation. If I'm not fresh and clean, like I just don't feel like that's a good show to y'all. You know what I'm saying? If you send down see, that's how you know I take care, man, because anybody else, they gonna roll up to your show dirty. I ain't trying to do that. By the way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you're smoking on in the comments. Strain of the day today is Sprinkles. Now I'm wondering, should I start doing education again for smoke? Should I start doing it again? Is there need for education with the smoke? Thank you, everybody, for pulling up, whether religiously or in passing. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all. And again, the strain of the day today on my channel is Sprinkles. Tell me what you're smoking on. But as y'all can see from the thumbnail and from the title, today we're going to react to episode 3 of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. There's also been reports of Sha'Carri Richardson in her latest arrest. Nasty word. Jay-Z and Pusha T are supposedly, allegedly in the Epstein files. Oh, the files that everybody said that they're not in? Yeah, they said that those guys are in there. And Nicki Minaj, what is this whole thing with Nicki Minaj kicking it with Donald Trump saying that that's her favorite president? Now, I'm not a very, very political person at all, but like, I don't think Trump aligns with the type of audience that you have. I'm just going to leave it like that. So what is this really about? So where should we start today? Where should we start today? I believe we could start with a Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We could definitely do that. Let's see. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Today, we will be reacting to none other than some content by Marvelous Video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Roll up. Give them as well a like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get to it, y'all. Share, like. All right. Bam. I gave them a like. Let's get to it.
If there were any doubts that this spin-off show was going to be boring or not as exciting as House of the Dragon, this episode put those thoughts to bed. Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Okay. You heard what my man just said. If you ever had any thoughts whether this was going to be boring and not like the rest of the spinoffs of Game of Thrones, you will be right. I told y'all last week, bro. I told y'all a couple of days ago I was going to give it to this episode because the shit was kind of boring. If it didn't jump off, I was going to be done with it. I don't waste my time, man, with these motherfucking series. If it's not good, it's not good. I will move on. I'm telling you, we ain't got no time. But This episode, as a matter of fact, everything that occurred at the very, very last second has so many implications to the future of Game of Thrones, the other series that have already come out. I like this episode. This episode was all right here, y'all.
Claimed to be as faithful to the source material as any HBO production of George R. R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire universe could be, and they weren't lying. We had knights, we had jousts, we had accurate armor, sets, and most importantly, we had dragons. But that's
when you watch this show, you know, you're thinking knight shit is just regular shit, but jousting, have y'all like really sat down and looked at this show if you're following it? Jousting is dangerous, bro. Like, this is some shit you could not come back from. This ain't we got in a UFC fight and I'm gonna get up after I've been knocked out. No, like some folks don't come back from that, or they get severely injured, as we'll see the maddest night in the kingdom.
It's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the ending of Season 1, Episode 3. So without further ado, let's get right to it. And spoiler warning, if you haven't seen it already, because we're about to dive into the deep end.
Impudent little...
Y'all know what it is with me, man. It's spoiler country, Jack. Don't get mad. If you ain't watched it, you better get HBO Max and get on like you've been shit out. Yeah.
Raj, what's happened to your hair?
I cut it off, brother. I didn't want to look like you.
Aeg's true identity revealed. Prince Aegon Targaryen. The biggest reveal with regards to this season's...
How many people knew Aeg was Prince Aegon Targaryen, a.k.a. Aegon the Unlikely? He's a Targaryen. He's a part of the House of the Dragon. He's the fourth son of a fourth son. So he's a prince way down the line. Somebody who's unlikely to ever be king. Or shall he be king?
Characters happened in the final few minutes of episode 3, when we finally realised who Aeg really is. I mean, those of us who'd read the novellas already knew, but that doesn't mean the impact of the reveal was lost on us. If anything, it was like watching Martin's words come to life. That's exactly what you want from a faithful adaptation, isn't it? From the very beginning, any man with a brain that wasn't as thick as a castle wall could have seen that Aeg wasn't using proper honorifics when addressing the royal family. He'd often call them by their first names without using titles like Prince and Sir. Sure, he was respectful enough of Dunk to constantly call him Sir, but that's because Aeg was posing as a common boy, and he's as clever as he is deft with...
There were so many unanswered questions. Anytime Dunk would speak to him, he would kind of like not answer the question type shit. You know, like even leaving that question that he asked him later in the episode, you know, Aeg, what do you know of your father? He was like, nah, I really don't know him like that. What kind of shit is like, you know what I'm saying? This ain't now times when people go no contact with their significant others. Like, you're a child. What you mean you don't know your father? That was a question that would have been killing me right then and there.
A lie. I mean, Dunk should have realised that Aeg yelling kill him during the joust between Prince Arion and Sir Humphrey Harding was out of place for his sweet nature, and they should have definitely sensed something was off when he definitively stated that Arion meant to kill Humphrey's horse. But as Sir Arlen would always say, Dunk was a lunk and slow as an oryx. At around the halfway point of episode 3, we saw an exchange between him and Aeg where they discussed their fathers. Dunk told Aeg the truth, that his was likely a thief whom he saw hanged. The former bit of information comes directly from Martin.
You can't make no shit up like that. You're going to tell somebody, my daddy was a whole thief. My daddy was a murderer. You don't just make up stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really as gangster as lit as you think it is to tell somebody your daddy was a whole criminal.
Work, but the hanging bit is an incomplete thought. In the books, Dunk actually talks about heading north to see if he can find an abnormally large man serving the night's watch, but that will come later, we suppose. Before he shared his intimate detail about his life, he asked Aeg where his father was, and if he knew him. Aeg said no, knowing damn well that his father was actually at the tourney, though there is some truth to that statement. No child can ever know their father properly at his age, and even more so when that father is Prince Maekar Targaryen, the most closed-off member of his generation of princes. But we're getting off topic.
That nigga's dad is a whole asshole, but when you meet him in the first 2 episodes or in the second episode, you can see why he's a little upset. He has 2 sons that are missing. 2 of his bloodline are missing. He doesn't know where they're at. He might be a little pissed off about that. I can see that.
Now, the reason A Night of the Seven Kingdoms excited us wasn't just because we'd finally get to see Dunk. It was also because we knew that the big reveal about Aeg's true identity would be a game changer, and it happened on the most explosive manner possible. After seeing Tanzil's puppet show about Serwyn of the Mirror Shield, a story that predates the arrival of the Targaryens in Westeros, Prince Aerion Brightflame declared that Tanzil had committed treason. We'll get to that bit, but for now, let's focus on what he decided to do about it. He had his household guards hold her down as he broke her fingers one by one for the...
Vicious, nah, run that back. Old girl is the little puppeteer. at the town play, you know what I'm saying, the festival play where all of the list for the games are going on, and all she's doing is acting out a play about someone slaying a dragon. But because his sigil, his family is the House of Dragon, these crazy motherfuckers are so crazy that they think that they're actually descendants of actual dragons. It's like a slap in the face, almost disrespect to make a play about killing a dragon in front of the House of the Dragon. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Fingers one by one for the crime of showing the death of a dragon by the hand of a man. And in that moment, Egg could only think of one person who could help him, Sir Duncan the Tall. He runs to Dunk, who is taking cider with Raymond Fossaway, the blabbermouth nephew of Stephen Foss.
He could have stopped that entire situation before he went and got dunked. He got dunked. He now has gotten dunked into some shit that could mean life or death. Dunk should die for what he's about to do.
Whom we saw in last episode 1. He tells Dunk Arian, who's turning Tanzette on Dunk, motivated by his attraction to her and the duties of a true knight. Doesn't think twice before rushing to her aid. He gets Arian off her and punches him twice. Then as Arian's guards restrain him, he kicks the prince in the mouth and knocks one of his teeth loose. Arian has his men put Dunk on the stage where the puppet show was performed and commands that for his lost tooth, Dunk shall lose his entire set. And that's when Egg arrives.
He was about the American History X, my man. He said, the prince told him, you knocked out my tooth. For that, I'm going to knock out all of yours. You lost one tooth. You was about to tell this man all of his chompers was going to be gone. You was going to take all of those out. Yo, the prince is just an evil motherfucker. But they say he only act like that when his daddy ain't watching.
Telling the prince to unhand his master. Dunk thinks the kid's gone mad because he's doing something that's arguably worse than what Dunk did. He struck a crown prince, which was a crime that could get him executed, but Egg presumed he ordered that same prince as though he knew him. But when the kid said that Arian wouldn't do that and told his guards to unhand Dunk by taking their names, it dawned on Dunk that he'd been lied to all this time. The realization on his face that he'd be playing knight and squire with the Prince of the Realm is both tragic and hilarious, as is the exchange between Aaron and Aegon, because you can really see there's no love between these.
The royal family should be asking Dunk, you a whole motherfucking weirdo. You mean to tell me you don't know what one of us look like? You just walking around with some little boy? They're going to call him a weirdo, amongst other things, when we get into this next episode.
Brothers. Arion calls Egg a rat and asks him what he's done to his hair, and Egg says that he shaved it off because he didn't want to look like him. This is partly true because Egg hates him, but the real reason is different. You might have noticed that during Raymond's rant, I'm
going to tell you something, right? And it's just purely something that I know from the book of this show. The reason why Egg hates his brother so much, if you'll watch it in this episode, the reason why Egg hates his brother so much is because his brother was attempting to SA him. Letter S, letter A, y'all put it together. I'm not going to say it since, you know, you can't say certain things on soft-ass YouTube. Kill shit, motherfucker. Anyways, yeah, so if I was him, I probably would not want my brother around either, seeing as though he's an incestuous freak.
mentioned that Makar's heir Daron was an inveterate drunk. Well, that's the guy we see in episode 1 at the inn, where Dunk and Egg meet for the first time. Daron shaved Egg's head to keep his identity secret because he didn't want to participate in the tourney, and Egg just used it as an excuse to insult the brother he wishes were dead. As for why this is the case, that will be revealed in the next episode, but we can give you guys a hint. If you know anything about Euron Greyjoy from the books, you'll know that not only is he a kinslayer, he also sexually assaulted 2 of his younger brothers in their youth. Well, let's just say that Arion once threatened to...
See, Marvelous once said it for me. I didn't even have to say it. That's wrong. That's so wrong.
to do the same to Egg, and that's why he was screaming "kill him" during the joust. It wasn't motivation for the prince, it was motivation for Sir Humphrey, and now that Egg's true identity has been revealed, expect all the fun he's been having with Dunk to just go away. With Dunk, Egg was free to do whatever he wanted, to speak however he wanted, but a Prince of the Realm must act with dignity, and that switch-up is what we'll be seeing addressed in the next episode of The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Now that we've spoken about all the ways in which the show hinted at Egg's identity in episode 3 itself, and addressed the reveal, let's now switch to talking about why Arion got so mad at Tanzel's play in the first place. Why was Tanzel's puppet show treason? Political theatre is something...
Okay, so I explained to y'all a little bit ago why her puppet show was considered treason. Like I said, you're killing a dragon in the house of the dragon, and they already a little off as it is. So you were just asking for trouble. That's what's going on there. Let's see if we can skip ahead a little bit.
arrived, dragons were just mythical creatures to the people of Westeros. There are actually two tales about gallant knights slaying dragons that have been passed down from generation to generation for thousands of years. The first is the story of Sir Galadon of Morn. This knight was so skilled at swordplay and such a chivalrous man that the maiden herself, one of the aspects of the seven-faced god of the Andals, fell in love with him. She gifted her perfect knight a sword called the Just Maid, which was so powerful that no other sword could check it, and no shield could withstand its blows. The legends say that he only unsheathed Just Maid thrice in his life, for it wouldn't have been fair to use it against mortal men, and one of those
That sword powerful as hell. What's that?
instances was to slay a dragon. The other story is about Serwyn of the Mirror Shield, a figure from the Age of Heroes, who said they've saved the princess from giants and slain a dragon as well, though his story involves no supernatural weapons. Only supernatural thinking. Serwyn had a shield that was polished so bright it shone like a mirror. He used this mirror shield to show the dragon Urax its own reflection, and when he found an opening, Serwyn drove his spear through the dragon's egg, killing it. It's this latter story that Tanzel and her troupe of mummers were enacting with their puppet shows. And if you're an original inhabitant of Westeros, you'll know that Serwyn of the Mirror Shield is quite an old folk hero. He's so old that later rendition of his story portray him as a member of the Kingsguard, which is consistent with the kind of conflation that often happens with tales like his over time.
Yo, the writer, his name escapes me, but this whole little timeline leading up to a Song of Fire and Ice, which is basically a Game of Thrones, the original series or whatever. It's such a crazy timeline. They have so many different places they can go. I see HBO just capitalizing off of making more and more spinoffs to tie this whole entire timeline / universe together that you can just binge watch all the way through. Oh, okay. I see what HBO's doing.
But to be honest with you guys, Tanzel's trip choosing Serwyn's tale over Galadon's was probably a better idea, because if Arion had seen one of the characters just straight up killing that fake dragon with its sword without using any sort of guile, he'd probably done worse things to her than merely breaking her fingers. And as for why this was treason, well, the answer is quite simple. The dragon is the sigil of House Targaryen. Like we mentioned at the beginning of the century, political theatre is one of the ways that the common people use entertainment to satirise the lives and policies of those who rule over them. We saw a bit of it in Game of Thrones as well.
Which is, like I said, you're going to kill a dragon in front of the house of the dragon. It's disrespectful.
Because the Targaryens consider themselves to be descended from dragons. Heck, Raymond Fossaway even calls them incestuous aliens, referring to their queer customs and their seemingly biological connection to dragons. And while that is something we'll address in another video,
Oh boy said that the only thing Targaryen, he said in the episode, the only thing Targaryens are good for is finishing on their old lady's tits. I said, whoa. You call them incestuous aliens because in the book, they have really, really, really blonde hair and purple eyes. Yeah, and really pale skin. That probably does look like some old alien type shit. So you might be right on that.
for this one, we'll just mention that attacking a dragon, even in a play, is like attacking the royal family itself. Doesn't make sense, we know, because as we mentioned, the Serwyn of the Mirror Shield is a folk hero whose story predates the arrival of Targaryens. But since their arrival and conquest of Westeros, using any kind of dragon imagery in political theatre can be seen as a comment on the royal family itself, and killing one can be interpreted as an act of rebellion and treason against them, which is why Arion did what he did. Of course, we're not condoning his actions, because ultimately, we know that Tanzel and her troop didn't mean to offend the royal family, but you'll be surprised to know that even the most agreeable of Targaryens in this show will concur with Arion on this point, because killing a dragon in a play is tantamount to threatening the Targaryens themselves. So while we don't agree with Prince Brightflame's actions, we can't say that they weren't without reason, and that's the kind of foggy grey area that ends up turning a simple folktale into a deadly political theatre.
But you had to break the girl's fingers, though, bro. Like, she might not even have known. That's why, I'm glad that, yes, this is fiction and all that, but I'm glad we moved on to a world where you can ask somebody, do you know where you at? Because they might not know how they're disrespecting. You know what I'm saying?
What will happen to Dunk? Now that we've addressed Egg and why the ending of episode 3 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms played out the way it did, let's talk about the man after whom this series is named, because the question that's on everyone's mind is a simple one. What will happen to Dunk? The thing is, if you look at the laws and rights bestowed upon the nobility by the customs and traditions of the Seven Kingdoms, Dunk should have been dead before the episode ended, striking a person.
That's right. You struck. So this is in real life. You strike somebody from the royal family, you out of there. It don't matter if you were right or wrong, you out of there. And that's in real life, fiction, all that. So obviously this is British, so they got to be keeping up with the customs.
From a royal family is a grave offence, which often demands the highest penalty. And this isn't just a George R. R. Martin creation, it has precedence in the real world as well. The offence is called lèse majesté, which means a quote an offence against the person or dignity of the crown. This is also the
lèse majesté. That sounds French. I can speak French.
Offence that Tanzil committed with her play in her ignorance. Though Dunk's offence was far more direct, it can be traced back to ancient Rome, where any sort of injury, harm, or violation of the physical embodiment of the emperor or his likeness was considered to be a treasonous act. Nowadays, you won't find anything remotely close to this draconic concept because freedom of speech is a fundamental right in most countries, but in a medieval setting like a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, you best believe lèse majesté is still actively practiced. It would have been one thing had Dunk simply restrained Prince Arian. He might have gotten off lightly for that, but he didn't. He struck him with both his fists, and he booted him with his foot as well. Cutting off his fists and his foot would be a light sentence in comparison to what the Roman emperors did to dissidents back in the day. And
So you heard what old boy said. Dunk is supposed to be dead right now because he touched someone of the royal blood. He struck him with his hand and his fist. Dunk shouldn't have made it out of that episode, no matter what was said.
death seems a likelier prospect at this point. Dunk was worried about losing the joust and all his worldly possessions when he should have been worried about losing his life. If Arian wasn't the second son of the fourth son of the reigning king, he'd likely to have been executed on the spot, but he won't be because Egg vouched for him and got him released, at least temporarily. Losing his limbs and therefore his life as a knight is still on the table for him because it's not like Dunk will be allowed to prance about the tourney as though nothing happened. He'll be kept in a cell for his crimes until proper judgment is passed, and if it takes the form of his hands and feet being removed from his body, then that's it. His life as a pretend hedge knight is over. But there is one thing that
his life as a pretend hedge knight is over. That's messed up. I don't know, man. We still don't have the answer as to whether Sir Arlen actually knighted him before, you know what I'm saying, he actually bit the dust. We don't know.
can save him, which is his right to demand a trial by combat. In Westeros, every knight is allowed to defend their lives from criminal prosecution by demanding a trial by combat. Such trials are believed to be more than just a past sentence because the Andals believe that mortal combat in the eyes of gods and men is the truest form of justice. A knight will be proven innocent even if they are guilty if they win such a trial. So right now, that's Dunk's best way out, given that there are 3 episodes left in our Knight of the Seven Kingdoms Season 1, and factoring everything we've just discussed. We think you guys know what will happen to Dunk, but it won't take a form you're familiar with, because his trial by combat won't be a one-on-one duel, and that is something we'll discuss.
My thing is it's the obvious choice. I want trial by combat. Give me the prince since he that mad. You know what I'm saying? Tell him come get it back in blood. I beat him. I clear my name. We all good. But I think the prince gonna sense that that's what he's gonna be on, and he gonna change the rules up a little bit and pull some bullshit on Dunk. And Dunk gonna have to show his real knightness, his dunkness. You know what I'm saying? And get his leadership game up. Y'all see what I'm talking about?
In another video. For now, this is as far as we can go because we've covered every aspect of the ending of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Season 1, Episode 3. Let us know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content from the Seven Kingdoms. We'll see you.
Salute to Marvelous One. Yo, I like that show. They almost lost me. If they don't start writing up, for the rest of the season, I don't know what else to tell you, but that was a good way to have a little cliffhanger leading into it. Because I told you I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was done with it. It just wasn't hitting to me. But yeah. Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 3. Tell me in the comments what y'all think about that one. I liked it. All right, now moving on. Sha'Carri Richardson. Oh man. Y'all ever just met somebody and y'all be like, bruh, it like you get into so much trouble. Like, why don't you just sit down somewhere? Like, just sit down somewhere. This the same shit that got OJ locked up. Not sitting your ass down somewhere. Don't worry about it. We're gonna look at it, man. Yeah, so I'm already going all the way in, man. Just sit down somewhere. She done got arrested for reckless driving and speeding, y'all. And think about all the arrests that leading up to now and everything that she's been through in her Olympic career and in her personal life. Does she need this new arrest? And how is this going to impact her legacy? Let's check it out, man. All right. This is by way of all Urban Central, y'all. Please give them a like, comment, and subscribe.
Listen, nothing you say is going to change that. You are going to jail.
Hey, yo, guys, this one hurts. I'm not even gonna lie, because we are talking about one of the fastest women on earth. Olympic level talent brand deals lined up, fashion campaigns, Nike bags, and now police lights, handcuffs, and body cam footage.
Just sit down.
Sha'Carri Richardson has been arrested again, and the details are not looking good.
Do not pass go. Do not.
According to NBC News, Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested in Florida after police say she was driving over 100 miles per hour. Guys, not 75, not 80, not even 90. They're saying she triple digits.
You going to jail. Hold on.
Criminal speeding, officers initiating a stop.
Triple digits, that is reckless driving, yo. Like that, like you hit somebody, you're gonna kill them, bro. Like, no, bro. She just got arrested in the damn airport for putting hands on that young man and then trying to get him thrown under their butts. Just sit down somewhere. And you know what? See, God don't like ugly and ain't too fond of pretty. Y'all saw that half-ass apology that she did or didn't give to her boyfriend about how she was trying to throw him under the bus and all that. Now look at you. Carmen done came back round. Carmen done came back round right quick. Look.
She's emotional, clearly distressed. Police decided that this isn't safe arrest made, and she's booked and later released by court order. And before all y'all start screaming, oh, they targeted her. Listen, once you pass a certain speed, it's not even about vibes anymore. It's about public safety. Now, here's where things get tricky. NBC News reports Sha'Carri was emotionally overwhelmed during the stop, visibly upset, talking fast, trying to explain herself, and clearly not in a calm headspace. In the body cam footage, it's uncomfortable. You can see she's not okay. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This doesn't look like arrogance. This is like somebody's breaking down in real time.
He clocking her at 104, y'all.
It'll be 429 northbound at Stony Brook, Florida. On a gray Aston Martin and an occupants.
How do you tell somebody, nah, I wasn't going that fast. You're literally going 104 miles. Like that. Wow. What is that she in? Is that the Mustang hatchback junk? I was gonna say, now she about to take him on a ride. I didn't think she was gonna pull over.
I would wipe that smile off your face. I'm Sergeant McDaniels with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. You're being stopped for dangerous, excessive speeding.
I understand my timer at the back is like literally on 29.
So you're driving at 100. Hold on. You're driving at 104 miles an hour in a 65-mile-an-hour zone with the subpar equipment, flashing people to get out of your way, following too close, using every lane to pass everybody, cutting me off, passing a car on the inside shoulder with their hazard lights on. You're going to jail for dangerous, excessive speeding.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. My phone, I didn't even know my car was speeding.
That's why they give you a speedometer.
I totally understand. I communicate with you. So I really do not want to go to jail.
No, most people don't, but you got to think about that before you do the speed. I need your license, your registration, and your insurance. You were speeding.
So I was, and I totally didn't know. If you look at my phone, my buttons right here, they jump around. My phone is sitting here, and it's straight on here. I literally see it's not even in normal mode, and I see.
We'll let y'all know if you're doing a bunch of excessive speeding, mentioning your phone is not helping a bitch ass thing. I wasn't even on my phone. Like I know where I'm going. That phone ain't help nothing. That's all I'm gonna say.
My apologies. Please, I'm communicating.
The mode has nothing to do with your gas pedal.
No.
I need your license, your registration, and your insurance.
Please, sir, can you? I really want to work. Can you really work with me, sir? I promise you, I am a law-abiding citizen. I have my ID, my insurance on my phone. There was no intention of me speeding today. I promise you, sir.
Is this a good address for you, Lake Valley
Yes,
Drive?
sir. I'm here. I'm local, sir. Please work with me. I promise you.
I don't know what work with you means.
Not work with me. I understand that. I will take.
Was that her throwing in, can I get a quick get out of jail free card situation for her celebrity? She's damn near saying like, you know who I am type shit.
No, like I told you, you're going to jail.
Please don't allow me to go. Please, sir. Please.
Listen to me.
Please, sir. I really.
Nothing you say is going to change that. You are going to jail.
Sir, am I going to jail, Jake?
Yes.
Sir, I really was not.
She said, am I going to jail?
Intentionally speeding.
That's even more scary. That means that you're doing things unintentionally on a task that requires all your attention.
Sir, please, I'm begging you.
You are going to have a little bit of time to make some phone calls. You are going to jail. I am towing your car.
Please, sir, don't take me to jail.
Yeah.
I'm begging you, head ass. Look at her, stupid ass. Stop speeding, man. We don't have the luxury of being able to mix up once, twice, 3 times a motherfucking lady. You got to choose one. You're going to be a fuck up or you're going to be a celebrity. You're going to be a famous. You're going to be an athlete. This is just stupid ass shit right here. Now look at you. You're having to beg this guy who's telling you, without a doubt, man, you're going to jail. You heard him?
Everything.
No.
I will do everything.
You have 2 options. Listen.
Sir, please.
Listen, you have 2 options.
Please, sir.
The first option is you can either ride with me in my car. The second option is you are going to go to jail in a cage car.
No,
Which do you prefer?
I promise you, I don't want to go to jail. I'm right here. I have a team here. I have a coach, everything, sir. I was not intentionally doing anything. And I am.
You're not listening. You're repeating yourself and not listening. Nothing you say is going to change.
So I want
to. So make some phone calls, let people know that you're going to have a $500 bond.
Now, if you've been paying attention, this is not the first time.
How y'all feel about that one? Do y'all hear all that begging and pleading, all that Justina she had going on over there? And I told you she hit the, can you work with me? Can you work? What you mean, can you work with me? Again, I say we are not afforded the get out of jail free, keep messing up card. That's not the card scheduled for us in America, sweetheart. That's not our card.
Sha'Carri's name been attached to police this year. Earlier in 2025, she was involved in an airport incident with her boyfriend, fellow Olympian Christian Coleman.
Oh, they're gonna be petty and run it back. Oh man. Yep, you putting hands on that man in the airport. Yep. He didn't hit you, you hitting him.
What we know is there was an airport disturbance, police respond, arrest involved, viral body cam footage, and media frenzy. So when people say this came out of nowhere, nah, this has been building. 2 elite athletes, high pressure, public life, cameras everywhere. That's a dangerous mix if you don't got the right support system. And listen, this is the part that really makes you shake your head. Just days before this arrest, Sha'Carri Richardson was announced as one of the faces for Kim Kardashian's Skims campaign partner with Nike.
This is what I'm saying. You have opportunities like this and you fuck it up with your emotions, getting caught fighting on camera in the fucking airport. You caught recklessly driving, speeding. Like, that's stupid. That's really, really stupid. Where's her team to keep her out of bullshit, man?
That's not small money. That's legacy branding. From Olympic glory to fashion icon to jail booking in the same news cycle. That's how fast things can flip. And let's be real honest, guys. The margin for error is different when you're a Black woman in sports. No grace, no rough patch, and no mental health break. They want you perfect, quiet, marketable, and the moment you crack, they say you lost it. Bro, at this point, Sha'Carri ain't just running races. She's running against expectations, judgment, and a system that chews people up. I mean, she probably also running out of get out of jail free cards, But yeah, she did pay the 500.
She never had one. She still got arrested. She never had a get out of jail free card.
$. But she also got that Nike scams money, so she good. This ain't about canceling Sha'Carri Richardson. This is about recognizing when somebody needs help, not headlines. She's still young. She's still elite. And she's still one of the fastest women alive. A young black woman.
But how many times is she going to be allowed to mess up before somebody just, all her opportunities are swept from under her? We got to wake up, man. Somebody that's around that sister, I hope they get around her and really, really get her together, bro, because you don't know, a lot of people would like to be in your position, and we don't want to see you fail. We don't want to see that. So salute to Sha'Carri Richardson, but stay out of motherfucking trouble, please.
Nonetheless. But if this spiral doesn't get checked, the next headline might not be about speeding. So prayers up, because talent alone won't save you from pressure, Sha'Carri. And begging, it ain't it.
Sir, please.
Listen to me.
Please, sir. I really.
It's nothing you say is going to change that. You are going to jail.
Sir, am I going to jail, Jake?
Yes.
Sir, am I going to jail? Nah, you going to jail. Come on, man. There's no such thing as a get out of jail free card for us. Always remember that. Always remember that, y'all. Okay. Have y'all heard about the Epstein files, man? Hip hop. Where y'all at on this one? Jay-Z and Pusha T allegedly in the Epstein files. Is this not nasty work, allegedly? I don't know, man. Like I'm not liking the way that any of that sounds. It's just not cool. There's so many other places, so many other people that have done worse things, but because these are our heroes, these are the people that get plastered all over it. Allow me to take a look. Hold on. Oh, this is by way of diverse mentality and their podcast. Yo, man, like this guy's work. Hold on, y'all. All right, let's get to it.
That we are well aware of. And I was shocked to see this on social media. I had to make sure it was real 100% because I'm the type of person that doesn't just report on things without doing proper research. And this is 100% real in terms of it's officially from the government's website. And that is Jay-Z and Pusha T's name are involved in the Epstein files. Before I get into this, I want you guys to be able to look this up yourselves so you know I'm not.
Allegedly. Now, see, I don't know nothing about all of this. All I know is these are some files that got some sort of trafficking going on. You know what I'm saying? Nasty work. But what's even nastier is with all of this information, how do y'all feel knowing that it's a bunch of folks out there that's really been waiting to see somebody like Jay-Z fall, and his name is now being implicated in something like this? I don't know. Let's take a look.
Lying. You go on the website justice.gov/Epstein, and then there is a search bar, and you can search up Sean Carter, which is Jay-Z's real name, and it's the first document that pops up. And this is the documents that I'm going to read to you guys that pop up. So just so you guys know that this is 100% real from the government's website, from the Epstein files. There's nothing that's been, altered or, reported fake on social media. This is 100% real. So let's go over both of these documents. The documents are heavily redacted, meaning a lot of things are blurred out to protect really the victims' names and some information that they don't want the public to know.
Redacted meaning it's going to be a lot of them talking about blank, talk to blank. You're going to have to kind of keep up. I'm guessing that's why this is going to go.
Places, locations, stuff like that, for the most part, is redacted. So let's go over the top of the document. It says Epstein, Jeffrey, child blank trafficking. You guys know what I'm talking about. The date/time.
Whoa. Child blank trafficking. Oh, this is nasty. It's almost as if, Some of y'all hometown heroes just going down. It's not right.
This was received was on July 10th, 2019 at 8:20 in the morning. The details is this. On July 10th, 2019 at 8:20 Eastern Time, a bunch of redacted stuff called the FBI National Threat Operations Center, NTOC, to identify herself as a victim of abuse by Jeffrey Epstein and others.
Whoa.
Blank provided the following information. In approximately 1994, a bunch of redacted information revealed herself, blank, as a past victim of sex abuse by Epstein.
Whoa, this is dark. This is really dark. Whoa. Just even explaining all of this, y'all could have kept that. Y'all could have kept that back in the genie bottle. What's wrong with the world?
Blank described the abuse occurred during parties. Blank. Blank further identified blank as a friend of blank. So we're assuming probably people that are of high power that decided to, or maybe people that are trying to make connections with that, people don't know and don't want, them to know. In approximately 1996, blank resided with blank in blank. An unknown man abducted blank from her home, whence she later awoke in presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter. And then it shows in quotations Jay-Z. While Weinstein had inserted his fingers into, you guys can use your imagination on that, blank believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. So just from this, we're getting that what she alleges is that Jay-Z was there with Harvey Weinstein, that she saw both of them together. I don't know if she said she assumed that she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Continuing on, blank estimated she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an opulent indoor setting. Blank suffered from abuse on multiple of those occasions in which Epstein participated. Blank recalled Leon Black and William Barr.
Whoa. This is just getting darker and darker and darker by the moment. What they doing out there with the world, man? Yo, it is too many other things that you can do besides abducting people and making them do things against their will. You guys are sick, man. I hope all of y'all burn in hell. Yes, I do.
Current United States Attorney General being present during some of the accusations of abuse. In approximately 2006, blank recalled being abused by Epstein. And then the page continues, says, on each occasion. Blank believed she was drugged, clouding her memory. Blank attributed the drugging as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers. This is where another rapper who right now is signed to Rock Nation. That's the crazy part. Him and his brother, Malice Clips, which is Pusha T, are both signed to Rock Nation, and they just dropped their album through Rock Nation. Blank attributed the drugging as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers, which she described as persons who established friendships with the victims. Among her handlers, blank identified the artist Pusha T.
Oh no! Not they said my man Pusha T out there as a handler. He sets up relationships for the person to be taken. Like Liam Neeson. You set up the whole ordeal for a motherfucker to be taken. Oh, nasty. Allegedly. We hate it.
Mind you, this was in 2006 when she's talking about this. Then in approximately 2007, blank attended a party, blank, following invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down the street. Weinstein and Pusha T also attended the party and drugged her before engaging in abuse.
Oh no! They Cosby'd her, and then, oh no, it's wrong. All of this is wrong. They could have kept them Epstein files locked away, but you want to know something? You already know what it is with that. Eventually, it would have to come out. This generation is just infatuated with telling somebody what the fuck they want. They know. And if you should, there should nobody know, but they in the rest they writing it down, and oh man.
Blank claimed to have additional information of other persons involved in the enterprise and information related to racketeering conducted in support of the trafficking. Blank further believed she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of the people involved in the abuse. Blank confirmed she was not diagnosed with any mental illness. blank refused to provide her physical address, advising that she maintained no permanent address. Rather, she moved between staying at different hotels. And that's what the documents say. Now, I know everybody's going to have their own, take on this. For me personally, I believe from 1994 to 1996, she might have been a minor around that time. That's what I'm getting. And then once she got to 2006, 2007, she was just a minor that grew into adult, and they just kept, doing things to that person. Now, this is an accusation at the end of the day. Let's keep that in mind. An accusation isn't solid, proof or evidence.
You could say this is an accusation. This isn't solid proof or anything like that. But you already know the court of public opinion has already took off and ran to the end zone with this. This is about to be nasty. And this is no similar than let's say you had a job or something like that, and you got somebody that might be in trouble for, let's say they think somebody up there trapping at the job, right? They do a whole investigation. Shit come out to not be true, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't provide any evidence that whoever they said was trapping was actually trapping. But you're still known at the job that everybody thought HR had a case on you because they thought you was selling drugs up there. It's the same thing. Your name is already drugged through the dirt by that time. They're going to drag Jay and Pusha T name through the dirt for this. We don't even know what happened, but your name is in them files, though. It's in them files, though.
Evidence. Anybody can be accused of anything. I'm not saying that to defend anybody in this at all, because if you're in Epstein files, it's not a good look at all. But let's keep that in mind, that an accusation is an accusation. Unless they release like solid evidence and proof, this was just stuff reported that was called in saying, hey, I got, abused by this person and this person. Do with that information what you will. I know Jay-Z has been dragged a lot by social media as being involved with a lot of crazy things. Although there hasn't been any solid proof or evidence, he was very close to Diddy. Diddy has done a lot of things. And
he did say that he didn't know P. Diddy like that. And there's like several pictures of them over the years together. Just all of it looks a little funny to me. You don't know him, but there's been actually some solid evidence when it comes to Diddy. And obviously he's locked up right now with it. So anybody that was really that close, I mean, he would hang out with Diddy as if they were brothers. And I think Diddy at one point called him a brother. So at that point, when you're associated with somebody like that and you hang out with that person that often, they had literally parties every single year. It makes sense that people associate that person with what Diddy did, because if you're surrounded with that person all the time, people are just going to assume you're doing the same thing. And the interesting thing is Pusha T, Malice just recently signed a distribution deal with Rock. Salute, Cap.
Rock Nation, which is Jay-Z's record label. They released their album Let God Sort 'Em Out through there, and now they're nominated with a bunch of Grammys, and they're going to perform at the Grammys. That's a crazy time to have this released as they're doing these Grammys performance and stuff. I say all that to say, we have no idea. This is just documents that the government released officially.
These are documents that the government released officially. Oh, man, this is nasty. Why do the government got files in it with my name attached to this kind of bullshit? These are the questions I'm asking if it's not true.
Like I said, no solid proof. If the government releases photos, maybe videos, I don't know. There's been a lot of accusations thrown out. Some things with solid evidence with like emails that are tied to real email addresses with timing and all this stuff. Some of those look a little bit more official versus this, which is, I believe, somebody calling in and reporting that they've been, from on July 10th, 2019. So this is years. So she reported an event happening in 1994, 1996, 2006, and 2007. So this is 4 separate times where the first one in 1994, it was just Epstein that she's talking about. In 1996, this is where she mentions the most people. She says Harvey Weinstein, as well as Jay-Z. And then she mentions Leon Black and William Barr.
Hold on. Jay-Z wasn't even Jay-Z at that time for real. Okay, maybe, I don't know. All right.
Which is the current United States Attorney General, which is crazy. You got United States' Attorney Generals being named in these things, which is like,
yeah, Jay.
Yeah,
man.
these files are like, if none of this stuff was redacted.
Nasty word, brother. It's nasty word. It's nasty word.
Like, I just don't know. It's insane. And then obviously in 2006, she mentions Epstein as well as the handler, which is Pusha T. That's where he gets involved. And in 2006, Pusha T was a pretty big artist at that time. I mean, Clips was doing their run with Pharrell again. I believe they released Mr. Me Too, which is a huge record, and they're just having their run as well. And then in 2007, she also mentions Weinstein and Pusha T again. But yeah, that's that.
Not the big three in trouble. Jay, Diddy, and Kells. They already got Kells. He not getting out till 2045. My man gave a little glimmer of hope that maybe he was coming home early. He's not. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. They are keeping R. Kelly black ass locked up. It's over with.
That's the files. They are real as I can get. I mean, you can look this up unless the DOJ decides to just remove these files, which they have kind of redacted some stuff and taken it out and put it back in. And, you know, so it's all over the place. But if you go to justice.gov/Epstein, you search in Sean Carter, these documents pop up. So it is real as day. Let me know what you guys think. I know some artists are going to have a field day with this.
Yo, man, how y'all feel about that one? How y'all feel about that? I don't know, man. Like, those are some bad accusations to have on your name. That's some bad accusation to have on your jacket at all. Like, there's just no, it's a couple of things that you just don't never want to be known for. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. They're always trying to get Jay with something. They're always trying to get Jay with something. I'm telling you. And now Pusha T's been implicated. That's just not, oh man. Yo, Pusha, I know you got bars and all that. You might want to stay away from the battle scene now. That whole Epstein angle, somebody had killed. Yo, Drake, if you wanted to get at him, do that right now. Do it right now. Especially if you ain't in them files. With them files? I don't know. Nah, but yeah, does anybody know about this immigration gold cards? This immigration gold card. I just want to see if maybe I'm wrong here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Event for him last night in Washington, D.C. She showed up with her checkbook, if she actually has that anymore. I don't know if anyone, you have a checkbook.
I do have a checkbook.
I've actually seen you write a check in here. It's
I have a
weird.
checkbook.
It's very weird to see that. It's off-putting. But yes, she showed up and made it clear that she was not only going to support him, but she was going to spend a lot of money to support him.
I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change.
Nah, bruh. Something's going on. Y'all can't. Something's going on. Did she get cloned? I don't know. I don't know, bruh.
Change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, you know, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God.
My man said first Beyonce, now Nicki. What's she hiding? Yeah. What's she hiding? What's she hiding? What are they hiding, bruh? I don't know. This is what she trying. Yeah, what she trying to get? This is getting weird, bruh. It's like it's out of nowhere too.
Is protecting him.
So keep talking, and she's going to keep spending. The number that was thrown out last night was somewhere between $150,000 to $300,000.
So the question
she plans
for
to
what? For what?
To drop into Trump accounts.
But what
are the Trump accounts?
For the 2028 election.
Yeah, what are the Trump accounts? So this event was for the Trump accounts.
Nah, what is she trying to get, bruh? She gonna put how much money in there? Oh, no. I need to hear that again. Y'all ain't just say that.
It is. And, you know, at a point, you can say, I fundamentally disagree with her or agree with her, but I kind of like the fact that people are just kind of declaring now. Because one of the things that has really struck me over the last month is fear. That people are afraid to speak because of repercussions. And, you know, and I will say that Donald Trump has made that clear. He goes after people he doesn't like and people who are his enemies. And people are afraid to talk. So whether it's on his side or against him, I just feel like this country is being motivated by fear. Legislators are fearful. People are fearful. I mean, there are people who witnessed the killing of Alex Preddy on Saturday who are afraid to come forward.
Right.
And it's like,
Oh, this is a sad one. This is a sad one right here. That's the common enemy, and everybody's not seeing it.
this is crazy, and that we shouldn't be afraid. And at least, look, I mean, whether you agree with it or not, everybody, don't be afraid to take a stand.
Hi, so I am Jada Reed. I'm here based in Atlanta, and I think you guys make some really good points. It is quite dystopian, what we're seeing, especially after all the news that we saw this weekend. But I agree. I think it's exactly what you said. I think people are starting to declare. We are getting very straightforward answers as to where everybody stands. And I think we'll be better for it, right? There's clarity now around what's happening. And with Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump, they seem to be getting along swimmingly. Even after her statement, they held hands behind the podium.
Here's the deal. You tell him you love him, you got a friend forever.
Yeah. And by the way, it's an election year. You're going to see Nicki Minaj out campaigning for, you know, people in Congress and in Senate who are running.
Wow. Bruh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh. What y'all think about that one, man? This came out of nowhere to me, bruh. This really came out of nowhere to me. Like, it's getting a little spooky outside now. You heard what they said, for words like, or phrases like chose sides, you know? People are showing what side of the line that they're on. What is about to happen around here? All I'm gonna say is, I know we at the end of this session, I'm definitely fried, died and laid to the side, but all I'm gonna say is arm yourself and protect and teach your babies, get your family together. That's all the time I got for the day, goddamn. It's your boy Slave DiBiase. This was another good sesh, man. This is another live reaction, live of the Offenders Initiative podcast. Thank y'all for pulling in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep smoking, y'all. Till next time.